Hi everyone! So today I'll be showing you how to create this really cool Heart of the Dragon scale bracelet. This bracelet was created by one of my subscribers. Her name is Amanda. I will have her name down here so you know the spelling and everything if you're interested in that. But anyways, this is what the bracelet looks like. This is Amanda's I'd like to call the signature side of this bracelet, which is basically the side that she wants to be known as like the face of this bracelet. However, this side is slightly uncomfortable to wear. However, if you just stretch out the sides, it doesn't curl up, so it is more comfortable that way. It is reversible, so this is the reverse side, similar to my tire track bracelet. This is the side with a more comfortable wear. So yeah, this is a really cool looking bracelet. I am really happy with how this color combination came out. So anyways, if you are wanting to know how to make this really cool Heart of the Dragon scale bracelet, go ahead and keep watching. So this typically isn't how I say how many bands you will need, but here I have my essential storage case. So this is basically my run-around case that I bring with me if I'm going to go somewhere and I don't want to bring my ginormous box of all my supplies and stuff. So you guys will get a sneak peek of this like right now. I know you guys have been requesting a lot for me to do a storage case or band supplies and creations video. However, I just want to get my own designs out, my own design tutorials out before I get that out, just because I want to make sure that you guys get to see my tutorials as soon as possible. And so I'm basically just saving the supplies and creations video for a day where I have run out of original designs to post. So anyways, since this bracelet is totally customizable with whatever colors you choose, I won't be showing you any specific colors you need, but I will be using white and rainbow today. You will need 150 bands. You'll also need any type of loom as well as your hook. I will warn you that this bracelet during the making process does put a bit of stress on your hook, so I do want to make sure that you know that before you take this risk with any low quality loom or any hook that might be breaking anytime soon. Again, there is a rainbow loom metal hook that will be available soon in the web store. Just a heads up for those of you who don't know why they've been stalling. It's because they have not received their stock at the actual warehouse yet, so they literally have nothing to sell right now, so that's why they haven't put it up. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So I am just going to warn you beforehand, before we get this bracelet started, that this is a very time-consuming bracelet, and it is very difficult to learn, just because there's a lot of double looping, and the hooking process can be pretty confusing to learn. So I just want you to make sure that you are prepared to make this bracelet, since it is quite difficult. I would definitely say advanced loomers, or at least intermediate, to make this bracelet. So now we're going to go ahead and get started. So one more thing, actually, I am using a new camera stand during this part. It is like a mini camera stand, so hopefully it is stable. Let me know if you don't like this camera stand in the comments below, just so that way I can improve video quality. But I'm trying to get a good camera angle so you guys can see everything here. So you will need only 4 pins for this. You can use any type of loom. However, since the bands do cause a little bit of stress on your hook and the pins, if you do have a lower quality loom that is maybe a little bit brittle, then you might want to be careful while making this project. So anyways, now we can get started. So just have your hook handy, because we will be hooking every other sort of step. So this bracelet is going to start first with your basic dragon scale bracelet. Sorry, blanked out a little bit there. So anyways, you're going to cross them in the center here. Now you're going to take your other color and twist it on the outside edges of this. So you've got your figure 8s here in the middle, with the middle band on the bottom and 2 outside bands on top. Now you're going to hook like a normal dragon scale. So you're just going to grab this bottom band here, hook over, bottom band here, hook over, like that. So now we're going to go ahead and start with the actual pattern of the Heart of the Dragon scale sort of thing. So Amanda, who created this bracelet, did a little bit of a different technique, but I am going to switch things up a little bit so that way it is a little bit easier for you guys to learn how to make this bracelet. So we are going to take your first color, which I'm using red. And you're going to, this part is a little bit confusing, so you're going to take single bands for this whole bracelet, by the way. Start on this very left pin here, and you're going to twist it here in the center. But as you're holding on to this band, you're going to stretch it over so that way it goes on. So you should have the band extending from 3 pins and twisted between the first 2 pins here. Now we're going to do the same thing except to the right side. You're going to start on this middle second pin here, drag it all the way out, and we're going to stretch 3 pins again, except you're going to make an X again on this right pin, like that. So you should have one band stretching from these 3 and another band stretching from these 3, with 2 X's on the left for the bottom one and the right for the top one. So here's what it looks like from the side here. And like I said, yes, this is a very hard bracelet because it is hard to teach on camera. So now we are going to start the hooking process. Now the hooking process is quite difficult as well. So I'll show you from the top view here. You're going to go inside of this right band here and pick up the white band on the bottom. Only go inside of this band here. Do not go inside of both of these bands, just this one. Grab the bottom band, which should be white, and you're just going to pull it over the pin and release it like that. We're going to do the same thing to this one here, except you are going to go inside of the second band this time. So go inside the second band. So this one's basically like an inverted fishtail here. Inside the second band, grab the bottom band here and pull it. And then you're going to pull it over the pin like that. So you should have something like this. I'm going to scoot my bands out of the shot because it is kind of distracting with them here. But you should have something like this. Now we're going to go ahead, push all these bands down, and we're going to add on our next layer. Please rewatch the previous part if you didn't understand how to do that, but I will be showing it again coming up. So you're going to take your next color, and you're going to just stretch it from these 2, and you're going to double loop it here. Like that. Do the same thing to the right side. Like that. So you should have double looped bands on the left 2 and right 2. Like that. This hooking process is quite a lot easier. You're going to grab all the bands that you see on each pin on the bottom. Whatever's not part of this band here, you're going to grab all of those. So all of these here. Pull those over the pin and release. Do the same thing to this middle one here. Grab all the bands you see here, should be 2 layers. Pull them over. All meaning all except for this white band here. Same thing on this side. All the bands you see that are not this white band here. So I'm grabbing my red bands and pulling over. Same thing on this pin here. All the bands on the bottom that are not this double looped white band. Grab those and pull over. And then push the bands down. Now it's back to the hard part again, the twisty, weird part. So I'm going to show you slower. You're going to twist on this left pin, or left 2 pins, like that. So you should have something like this, and I'll try to get the glare out of the shot, but stretches across these 3 pins with a twist here between the first 2 pins, like that. Now we're going to do the same thing to the right side, except you're going to start on the second pin, stretch across, and then twist on the right. So on this band that goes across these 3 pins here, you have a twist on the right. So you should have 2 twists here. And sorry if I'm going really slow, I just want to make sure that you guys know how to do this bracelet. So the hooking process is difficult, like I said earlier. Basically, the purpose of this hooking process is to get these bottom 2 white bands over the edge of the long bands, the edge that is not with the twisted side. So we want to get it over this edge right here, since you can see the edge of this band is ending on this pin here, right here. So sorry if I confused you during that. If I did, then just ignore what I just said. Anyways, for this we're going to go inside of this top band, grab these white bands here, and then pull them over the pin and release, like that. So now the left pin's a little bit different. We're going to go inside the second band for this pin. So go inside the second band here. Make sure not to go inside the first and second bands. Just the second one, which I find easier to start on the left and then circle around here. Grab these bottom white bands and pull them over the pin, like that. So you're now done with the hooking process here. So just to clarify a little bit, after you put on these bands that go across 3 pins here, you will only be hooking the middle 2 pins here. When you put on the 2 bands that are here that are separate, like my white bands for example, you're going to hook over on all of the pins. Now when you are hooking the bands that go across 3 pins each, then you're going to go inside the second band on this and go inside the first band on this during the hooking process. So I'll explain that later. Anyways, I hope I'm not confusing you too much, but anyways, you're going to do your outside bands again. So you're going to hook this and double loop it across the left 2. Like that. So double loop that and do the same on the right side. Double loop it across these right 2 pins here. Like that. Now remember, we're going to hook over all the bands on the bottom, except we're obviously not going to hook over these white bands here and these white bands. Just grab whatever is on the bottom and pull over, like that. Same thing on this one, whatever's on the bottom, pull it over. Same thing on this one, whatever is on the bottom, pull over. And these bands, pull it over, like that. Now comes the hard part again, the crisscross thing. Start on the left, twist, and go to the right. So you have something like this. You're going to do the same thing again, except kind of a reflection. So you've got a twist here and there. By now I am assuming that you do know how to do the band process here, so if you don't, go ahead and rewind. And now I'm going to show you how to do the hooking process. So remember, like I said earlier, that on this left pin you're going to go inside the second band, and on the right you're going to go inside the first band. So what I mean by that is, as you can see, we have 2 layers of these neon orange bands that I have here. On the right pin you're going to go inside the first band, so go inside the first band that's closest to the top, first from the top, and then grab the bottom bands. And basically when you pull them over, they're holding on to this second layer here. The second layer. Grab these white bands and pull them over the pin and release. So after you've hooked over, done hooking processes on those 2 pins, push all your bands down, and we're going to do the outside bands again. I'm going to show you how to do the outside bands this time, and then do the inner bands, the heart bands, and then I will speed up the rest of the process. So you're going to double loop this one here. Like that. So I've double looped that, and do the same thing on the right side. Like that. So you've got these 2 double loop bands here, and now we're going to do the hooking process. Whatever is not part of this double loop band here, you're going to hook over. Like that. So if I've gone too fast for you on that, go ahead and pause the video. If not, we're going to go on to the heart bands. These bands in the middle that we cross here, called heart bands. So you should have something like this now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hook these middle 2 pins. So remember, on the right side we go inside the top band, and then grab these bottom white bands and hook over and release. Now remember, on this left pin here, we go inside the second band. So this is basically an inverted fishtail stitch. Inside the second band, grab the bottom bands. Bottom bands, hook over the pin. Like that. Push your bands down, and now you're going to add on your outside bands. And then hook all of these bands over. So I have basically guided you through the first part of this bracelet. So you should be able to see the beginning of this bracelet forming here. It is going to come out through here. Those of you without a rainbow loom, just let it slide and grow over the pins. If you do have a rainbow loom, you can let it go through the bottom of your loom, but I don't quite like doing that just because I find it harder to see my creations patterns when it is first coming off of my loom. So anyways, if you're still having trouble with the bracelet, please go ahead and rewind the video. This is a very, very difficult bracelet to learn, so if you are having trouble, don't worry, because when I was first learning this bracelet from Amanda, we had multiple tries on getting me to learn this bracelet, and after like the maybe third try, I finally got it. So don't stop trying. You will get it eventually. It is a very hard bracelet to learn. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and continue making this bracelet, and remember, this bracelet is time consuming, so it's okay if it's slow moving. That is totally normal. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera rolling, and I'm going to probably watch TV and loom at the same time, and then I will come back when I have finished my bracelet. So as I've been doing the hooking process, I'm not near done really, but I thought I'd share a little thing that I've been doing lately. So I'm on these heart bands that are the inner bands. These are called heart bands, by the way. So I'm on these bands here during the hooking process, and I found that if you, there's this little yellow triangle here, if you can see, it's kind of right there. So if you go inside these two ones here, but stay on the outside of this one, and then kind of just go inside these two, and then grab the bottom ones and hook over, and do the same thing on the other side. Just go inside these two here, inside, circle around, grab the white ones and hook over. I found that it is a lot easier, just makes things easier to just go inside the triangle, hook over, go inside, and hook over. So there's a little tidbit for you guys. Sorry, my elbow rubbed on the table. This is basically what I have so far, and it is looking really cool with this rainbow color pattern that I have here. I'm liking how it's turning out. So anyways, I'm going to continue my bracelet, and I will be back when I am finished. So I'm just going to do my last two, which are my white bands. And then hook over all the bottom bands. Okay, so now I am finished with the whole length of my bracelet, so this is what it looks like now. So I'm going to show you how to take this off of your loop now. So when I learned this bracelet from Amanda, she didn't really give me a definite way to finish off this bracelet. So today I will be showing you kind of the way that I remove this from the loom. I am not too sure if this is the exact way that she does it, but this is how I will be showing you how to do this today. So you need to take your hook, and you're going to hook this band over to the middle here. This part's a little bit difficult, so just be careful that you keep it onto your hook. Like that. And then do the same thing with the right side. Grab this and put it onto the middle pin. Like that. Now what you're going to do is take double bands of your outside bands, and I have to reach into my Ziploc baggie because I ran out of bands just now. You're going to take double of your outside colored bands, and you're going to move my phone over. You're going to put these across the two pins. So this is double bands, by the way. So push those down now, and now's the difficult part. You're going to pick up this right side on your hook, like that, and you are going to pull it over and transfer it over to the far right. So just stretch it over, and you're going to transfer this to the far right. Like that. So you should have this on the right. You're going to do the same thing to the left, pick it up on your hook, and then transfer these bands onto the pin on the left. Just take your time on this part since it is double looped bands. The bands are smaller and harder to get transferred onto the pins. But after that, you should have something like this. So after you're finished, if you're not yet, go ahead and pause the video. But after you're finished, you're going to take your hook and you're going to hook the bottom band. You're going to go inside all the bands, pick up the bottom band. Now don't release it. You want to pull it over to this pin to the right here. Pull it to this pin. Now we're going to hook the left side. Go inside all the bands here, grab the bottom two, don't release it, pull it over to that same pin, like that. And I think I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but you do need one C-clip. So you're going to take your one C-clip and slide it onto all the bands here, onto this top pin, like that. Make sure all the bands are on, and then remove it, like that. And then now you can remove both sides of your bracelet, and you are now done with this, with the hooking part of this bracelet. We still gotta connect it. So basically, you just slide the C-clip onto this band here. I'm gonna slide it onto this red band. That was the middle band that we first put on when we were doing our dragon scale. So it's a little bit difficult, so get the other end on as well, like that. So now we have closed off this Heart of the Dragon scale bracelet, and we are now completely finished with this bracelet. So as to how to wear this bracelet, Amanda's favorite side was this side, and she wanted this to be what I call the signature side of this bracelet. However, it is a little bit curly, so I found out that if you stretch the bracelet out like this and kind of push out the middle, that it is a more comfortable wear. So if you would like to wear this bracelet on the signature side, then you would wear it on this side where there is none of the outside color in the middle of this bracelet. And I'll go ahead and put this on, show you what it looks like. But this looks really cool on my wrist if you can't see. This is what it looks like, and I really like how this side looks. This bracelet is a little bit big for me. I will probably remove some links later, but this is quite large for me. Anyways, the other side of this bracelet should look like this. And this, if you want a more comfortable wear, this is the more comfortable side to wear it just because of its natural curve that it does here. And this does look very similar to my tire track bracelet. However, the center looks a little bit different. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial on the Heart of the Dragon scale bracelet. Once again, this is Amanda Cabrera. Oh gosh, I can't remember her last name. Anyways, I'll put her last name down here in a little bar here so that way you will know her name, but she is the creator of this bracelet, so credits to her. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you were able to make this difficult bracelet successfully, and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye!